All right, guys, if you've been on Facebook, you know there is a gentleman that is selling the lower fairings for the new bikes. Has a website on AliExpress, and there are also some listings on eBay for this. Again, this is for the lower fairings. We're going to go ahead and get this unboxed. All right, guys, so inside of that kit, this is everything that you're going to get. So you're going to get the new fairing support bracket with the pieces to hold those side fairings. The kit that I have is the unpainted one, obviously. I do not have a black bike. I have a burst blue bike, so we're going to have to either get those wrapped and or painted. But just for this purpose, I'm just going to get them on the bike. I can always run with this bracket and without those on there for now until I get them painted. One thing I am noticing, this mount here, kind of not the greatest quality for the mounting points. If you look at the OEM one, the welds are a lot better. It's a lot thicker of a mount. This one, it kind of looks like I tried to save a bunch of metal where they could. I mean, it looks like it does what it's going to do. I don't know about those welds, but that's why we're testing it. There is something kind of inside of it that's moving around as it tilts. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if it'll affect anything or not, but again, we're testing it out. So if there's any issues as I'm running it, I will let you know. Worst case scenario, just gonna have to buy the Harley one, which may or may not be VIN locked. So let's get it on the bike. Next thing you're gonna do is remove the windshield. Gonna be using a Torx 25. 4 bolts, 2 and 2. All right, so the windshield is off. Now on these pieces, you're gonna have 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. Same on this side. You're gonna be using the same Torx 25 to remove those. All right, once you get those bolts loose, you do wanna make sure you support this piece. It will fall down, it could damage your paint. So as you start getting to the bottom screws, just hold on to it and start pulling out a little bit to put some force on the bolts. That way you can actually get them out all the way. So we got one side off. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one. All right, so next thing is we're gonna wanna remove this cover. I'm just gonna kind of use a pry tool and gently get this off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now too. All right, so what I kind of did on both sides is I just took this part of the pry tool, put it in there, and I just tilted this way until it pushed forward enough. Looks like there's 2 retaining clips there, and then when you take this off, obviously you just want to be careful. So we're going to go ahead and get that off. All right, so now that we got that piece off, this one just comes off. There you go. All right, sorry I forgot to record this part, but once you take this cover off, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts that need to be removed. So you're going to get those out. Then we're going to go to the side of the fairing and the speaker grills. All right, so for the speaker grills, you're going to want to pry. There's a little notch there and a little notch kind of up top or there. You're going to want to pry from the top area because there are these little hooks on the bottom that keep it in place. So again, you want to pry from there and from there on the left and right sides. And both speakers have another bolt. Again, Torx 25, gonna remove both of those. All right, now we got those bolts out. We're gonna be moving on to these lower wing bolts. Again, Torx 25. Doesn't seem to be changing, so that's good. I would recommend putting something down to protect your front fender, just in case that fairing does drop, doesn't damage that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a towel and throw it on there real quick. Now we are ready to remove the fairing. To install the other bracket for the side fairings, going to remove this bolt here. You're also going to remove these 2 bolts right there. All right, so we got both of these bolts off on each side with the 11mm. Now we're going to take those off. And for those in the back, you're going to be using a 1/4 inch hex. All right, guys, so for this, I just reused the factory hardware. Pretty much just tighten everything down as tight as I can get it. It's looking good so far. It's on there, no fitment issues. Everything fit perfectly so far. So now we're just gonna see what we can do about getting those side pieces on. All right, guys, so what you wanna do is you wanna take this part of the bracket, you're gonna put it underneath. So if you look from the side, you should have that part of the bracket facing that way. It's gonna go behind this piece, which have threaded inserts. You're gonna use the provided hardware and a 3/16 hex to tighten these down. Then from there, pretty much once you have it lined up, you're gonna wanna take out the bolt that's on the end over here. I think this stays in place. Then there's also gonna be another rubber grommet that you're gonna insert here, depending on what angle you want it at. And then you can mount up this fairing piece. All right, so we're gonna get it done on the other side too. All right, guys, and that's what it looks like on the bike with the fairing on. Honestly, you're not gonna be able to tell whether it's OEM or not once it's on the bike, but it's not painted. Again, we gotta get it painted. Fit and finish looks good. The only concern I had, like I said, was the fairing support bracket with the welds where those bolt to. But other than that, looks pretty good so far. I'll let you guys know if I run into any issues either riding with it and or painting it. But that's it for this video. Again, thank you. All right, guys, so when you put this piece on, you have this little metal clip that needs to go on to catch the screw. This lip right here will actually be sat in front of that. The screw and the washer go on the front piece and bolt into this, which will be behind this plastic tab. As far as the grommets go, for the top one, you can just push it in. You don't have to worry about that going anywhere. But for the bottom one, what you want to do is grab the gasket from the back side, and then you're going to guide it in and push it in to make sure it's secure. Once that's there, you're obviously just going to, again, make sure that this plastic piece is in front of the metal clip, and you should be able to go ahead and tighten everything down at that point. I tested this today. I had the bike at the top speed that it cuts out at. Of course, we tested this out on a closed course. There was a lot of shaking on this piece, but it held firm onto the bike. Did not have any issues with anything popping out or flying off. So, I mean, you're paying $200 something for this whole setup in comparison to the Harley one, which is going to run you somewhere around $650, I believe it is. And that's unpainted. So you're getting all of this, 200 bucks. You have a black painted option, and then you have this unpainted option. From what I'm told, these will come in black plastic going forward. Again, they will come in black plastics going forward. This is the old version where it is the white ABS plastic. If you guys are looking for somebody to paint these, shoot me a message on Instagram, HDRyderCT, and I will point you in the direction. Found a company where pretty much they're going to paint match it. It's $150 a side, not including tax or shipping. So again, reach out to me if you want information on that company, and I will send it over to you. In case you didn't catch my Instagram, that is it right there. Again, thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It is free, costs you absolutely nothing to do. If you can, also hit that like button, and feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you all. Ride safe.